Hi, everyone. I just realized that when I did my last video, touching on cadaver dogs versus human remains detection dogs used by the RCMP, because many have been wondering, including myself, why cadaver dogs were not brought in the Lilly and Jack Sullivan case, who are still missing. So when I did a little research, it helped me to better understand why, and I wanted to share that information with the rest of you who are wondering yourselves. I did talk about it in my last video. However, like I said, I forgot to share this video when I was playing it and I could see it, but you guys couldn't. So I'm going to share it with you now, and then I'll go over the article again as well, so that it's all in this one video.
Doc. The 5-year-old German Shepherd now has
Where's it at? Come on, search him out.
RCMP have a new crime-solving tool, and his name is Doc. The 5-year-old German Shepherd now has the distinct honor of being the first and only RCMP cadaver dog in Canada.
All our dogs in the RCMP are trained to find human remains, but they're not specialized in, saying, maybe finding bones and different levels of the human body.
Bushy has been interested in starting a cadaver training program for years. In December of 2014, the perfect opportunity arose. The RCMP teamed up with the Nova Scotia Medical Examiner's Office to train Doc.
If it's tough to have lost a family member, it must be 100 times tougher to have lost them and not have the body. So this is the problem we're trying to solve here.
Search bone.
Doc was trained for months using human remains donated by Nova Scotians.
He learns very quickly what that odor is, and then we move into scenario-based training. So we'll bury things, or we'll put things, go out into the woods, put stuff underneath a log, or we'll throw things in a ditch, or anything where we would think we would find what we're looking for.
Doc is able to locate remains that are buried deep underground and items that are decades old. Since completing their training, Doc and his handler have already been on 16 calls.
We have our dogs 24/7. They live with us. You know, he runs with the horses and plays with the children, and he's a wonderful disposition dog.
In May, the pair will travel to the United States to continue training.
As criminals look at a way of masking things, we have to learn from that. So we never stop training. We never stop learning. I never stop learning.
Doc's training is part of a pilot project. If all goes well, the hope is that someday the Cadaver Dog program will be implemented across the country by the RCMP. Natasha Pace, Global News, Dartmouth.
Okay. Now that is from 2016, March 4th, 2016. So you heard what he said there in the beginning, that all their dogs are trained in human remains detection. But the cadaver dog is something different. He or she can search for remains that are long-term, remains in concrete. So they're trained to do something different than the dogs that are trained for human remains detection. So I'm going to take that off screen and remember to put up the next article. And I will read over this. I did show this on screen in the video while I read it, so even if I didn't show it, you guys would have heard me. But so also November 7th, 2017. So this is first RCMP dogs to detect human remains finish training. So this is where they're cross-training dogs to be able to do the human remains detection, which is different than what the cadaver dog does. The cadaver dog does that too, but it does more. Okay, so the RCMP says it is the only Canadian police agency using real human remains to train its dogs. Typically, animal source material or medical waste, I think that's how you say that word, used to train police dogs. Using real human remains enables us to teach the dogs to, uh, using real human remains enables us to teach the dogs the exact odor they will be looking for. This way, they can rapidly differentiate between animal and human remains and locate human remains more effectively, explains Sergeant Robert Heppel, dog team trainer in charge of the human remains detection training at the RCMP PDS-TC. The human remains used for the training of RCMP dogs are provided by Nova Scotia Medical Examiner Service through a donor program. Donors and their families have specifically chosen to give their remains to the RCMP Human Remains Detection Dog Training Program. They use that word a lot. This additional dog skill will have a direct impact on the RCMP's ability to collect evidence for ongoing investigations, to make progress in historical investigations, and to provide closure to grieving families. The 4 dog teams participating in this first training, and this is in 2017, remember, and I found this very interesting, are from British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, and Nova Scotia. The dogs teams from BC and Nova Scotia are now fully operational. The dog teams from Alberta and Manitoba are expected to have finished their training by the end of this week. Currently, there are 166 RCMP dog teams across Canada. They will be trained on human remains detection according to the needs of the divisions. So, yeah. So, I think that helps us to better understand why cadaver dogs were not used. So pretty much all their dogs are trained as well in human remains detection outside of being like a search and rescue dog. Yeah. So, and the cadaver dog, as they state, would be used to locate older remains. Examples, older remains in concrete, things like that. So I'm pretty sure out of all those dogs that were used to help search for Lily and Jack Sullivan, were no doubt a handful of them, maybe all of them, who knows, were trained in human remains detection. So, yeah. Yep. So I just wanted to share that information with everybody that is following this case. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry, I forgot to share that in the last video. And I also made a mistake and said Micmac Mall, that they were seen on camera, the family with Lilly&Jack, the day before they had gone missing, had went missing. That was, I'm sorry, I meant to say Highland Square Mall, and I do that all the time. It's just a memory thing with me. I get things mixed up. I usually say that to my husband, and then he'll correct me and say the Highland Square Mall, Micmac Mall's in the city. So I apologize for that. Thanks everyone. Take care. Lots of love, lots of positive vibes, and I probably will be on tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.